The sky burns with fire. Bullets whistle like deadly birds over the sand. Explosions turn morning into night. The beaches of Normandy are a storm made of smoke, blood, and fear. Amid it all, a line of men moves forward, not hesitating, not flinching. Their boots sink into mud and blood, but their eyes are fixed on the horizon. They are soldiers, yes, but invisible ones. Forgotten ones, they are African. Brave men who carried not just rifles, but the impossible weight of freedom on their shoulders. Every step, every breath, every heartbeat is a defiance against death itself. And yet, when the guns fell silent, the world turned the page. Imagine charging into hell knowing no one will write your name. Imagine courage so raw it could shatter stone, and yet history refuses to see you. These were not extras in a grand story. They were heroes, but the record is silent. The books are empty. The world moved on. Paris, 1944. Smoke curls over the rooftops. Cafes murmur with quiet fear. Every street corner holds a shadow, every glance a secret. The city breathes tension like a living thing, and no one dares to exhale too loudly. Across the ocean, thousands of young men stand at attention. West Africa, Central Africa, farms, villages, dusty roads they have known all their lives. Colonial rule clinging to every corner, promises of freedom whispered but never given. Yet here they are, sons, brothers, fathers, answering a call that feels bigger than life itself. Imagine leaving everything behind. Your home, your family, the smell of your own soil, stepping into ships bound for a world you've only heard about in stories. Each heartbeat carries hope and fear. These were ordinary men, yet the Allies did not yet know what force they carried. Every step they would take, every bullet they would face, would ripple across history in ways the world could not imagine. And somewhere on the horizon of Europe, a storm waits. Something is about to break, something that will shatter walls, light fires, and reveal heroes the world is not yet ready to see. The sun burns down on endless training camps. Dust rises with every bootstep. Sweat stings the eyes. Young men, ordinary at first, push past pain, past fear, past doubt. Each rifle slung over a shoulder, each flag gripped in hand, is not a symbol of submission. It is a weapon of liberation. From Dakar's dusty roads to the icy fields of France, they march. Sea spray in their faces, frost biting their fingers. Every shouted order, every measured step, every loaded rifle whispers, "We will not fail." Hope drives them. Ambition lifts them. Recognition is promised just beyond the horizon, but promise casts a shadow. They arrive in France, and the world looks at them like strangers in a war that isn't theirs. Allies glance with suspicion. Locals stare with mistrust. Racism seeps into every interaction, every command, yet still they fight. Villages are stormed, rivers crossed under fire. Positions held that others wouldn't dare touch. Each act of courage carved in blood. Whispers follow them, betrayal, neglect, invisibility. And still they move forward because bravery cannot wait for acknowledgement. Casualties mount. Letters home vanish into silence. Recognition never comes. Entire French units owe their survival to men whose names will not appear in any history book. Winter and blood become their companions. Exhaustion, grief, and fury intertwine. And then the war ends. A village in France, 1944. Smoke rises like ghostly fingers from shattered rooftops. The streets are empty, save for the echoes of distant gunfire. African soldiers, faces streaked with dirt and sweat, stand firm. Outnumbered, outgunned, but unbroken. Every heartbeat drums like a warning. This is the moment that will decide everything. They move with purpose, rifles trembling in calloused hands. Explosions tear through the air, splinters of wood and stone raining around them. A child's doll spins across the cobblestones. Silence follows, then another gunshot. Their eyes meet, wordless agreement. No one steps back. Not today, not ever. Orders arrive. Too late. Allies pull back. Panic flares around them, but the soldiers hold. They fall into position, covering streets, barricades, every doorway. Sweat drips. Blood flows. Breath comes in ragged gasps. Every second stretches into an eternity. One wrong move and the village and the lives within it would be lost. And yet somehow they endure. Every fallen comrade becomes a stepping stone. Every desperate maneuver a heartbeat closer to victory. The sun rises over smoke-choked rooftops, casting long shadows over bodies scarred by war, but standing nonetheless. They have held the line. Against impossible odds, against death itself. Victory comes at a price. Hands tremble over empty rifles, eyes hollow, staring at the horizon. The village is saved, but the cost is etched into every face. French commanders clap on the back in public ceremonies, speeches made, medals handed out, but the cameras never catch their faces. The newspapers never write their names. They are heroes erased from history, ghosts of a battle that saved a nation. Decades later, they return. Faces weathered, hands calloused, medals in pockets that feel heavier than stone. Homes have changed, streets paved over memories. Children run past, unaware of the men who once held an entire village's fate in their hands. The war is over. France is free. Fireworks, parades, speeches, the world celebrates. But their names never echo in those halls. History books are blank where their courage should be written. Silence greets them, louder than any gunfire. In quiet village squares, around flickering firelight, stories whisper. A mother tells her child of men who fought like gods. A neighbor leans close, voice trembling, remembering faces no one else will see. But these tales live only in shadow, never on grand stages, never on cameras, never in print. They walk through life carrying invisible scars. Every medal a reminder, the world owes them yet does not know them. Their eyes hold the weight of battles no history would name, victories no crowd would cheer. Even in joy, a shadow lingers, the cost of being erased. Sunlight glints off bronze statues, faces frozen in valor. Cameras roll, microphones hover, voices recite names once silenced. History begins to breathe again, slowly, deliberately. The African soldiers who held France's line, who stared death in the eye and refused to blink, their stories are finally breaking through. Not just tales of bullets and blood, but of courage that endured invisibility, prejudice, and the slow, cruel erosion of memory. You can almost hear the rhythm of their march echoing across time, footsteps over cobblestones, through smoke, across decades of neglect. They didn't just fight a war, they fought to exist in a world that refused to see them. Every medal, every photograph, every whispered story is a rebellion against forgetting.